Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be building a CANES in Bloxburg. You may be wondering why I decided to build a CANES in Bloxburg, and it's because it's definitely my favorite fast food chain. So I thought out of any fast food build to make, this one would be the most fun to build, so let's just get right into it. I just wanted to start out by saying I already kind of pre-filmed the layout for this video, so if you're wondering how I'm just kind of building it pretty quickly without second guessing anything, it's because I already had an idea for where I wanted the build to go for the walls and like the roads and stuff. So I started out with the first concrete path just to kind of outline where I wanted the build to go, and you can just copy the dimensions that I build here. Also, this is going to be the first video with the new updated map. Guys, what do we think? Personally, I do like the map a lot better since there's a lot more to do, but the lighting and the ground textures are just kind of throwing me off a little bit. I know they added back in the old grass textures, so I may be able to experiment with using it and see if it looks better than the one that they added. You would think that lighting wouldn't really be a problem, but it really does make the builds look a lot different. It's a little hard to explain, but I feel like before, the lighting was kind of cast in one specific direction, and then now it's kind of like the whole map is just lit up entirely, so everything seems really bright. But I'm sure they're still gonna experiment and then see what works and change stuff later, so it's probably not permanent. So yeah, I kind of already had the build planned out, and then I mapped out the driveway path along the outside of the CANES, and then you're gonna see me start to build a little overhang outside the right side of the build. Out of all the fast food places to build, I thought CANES would definitely be the most fun to make, since their exteriors are usually pretty creative. There are a lot of people though who don't really like CANES since they think it's too plain, and that the food only tastes good with the sauce, but I definitely disagree. It's for sure my favorite fast food place to go to. It's still so crazy to me while I'm watching me build and then seeing an entire mountain in the background. I definitely like that part of the update, how they still kept the mountains in build mode so you can still see the surroundings while you're building. It definitely helps for videos to seem less plain. It's kind of funny to me how everyone's already making and releasing builds to match the new terrain, and then I'm over here deciding to build a CANES. Making a fast food place in Bloxburg though has always been on my bucket list, so I knew I wanted to build one. Plus, it was a whole lot easier than making an actual house, since you can already see the build comes together really fast. Usually I'll speed up a house video by like 20 something, but for this video I only sped it up like around 12 or something like that. I also started to add in the colors, and I wasn't really sure exactly how I wanted the color scheme to be since CANES has multiple different color combos. I'll just put up a picture of the final build real quick so you can see exactly what colors I went with, since there was only really 2 different colors that I used. I was gonna try to use 3 and mix in 1 more different texture, but I decided I didn't really like how it looked, so I just kept the 2 main colors that I used. Around this point in the video should be where I started adding in the logo decal, and I'm sure nobody's gonna be recreating this because why would you recreate a fast food place, but if you do decide you want to recreate it, then I'll have it linked in the description and it's on my profile. I also included another decal that I made, and it's basically like a light that can go under an actual Bloxburg light. I'll put a picture on screen, it's kind of hard to describe, but I think it just adds some more dimension to the build, since usually when you add lights into Bloxburg it doesn't cast an actual light underneath it, so if you use a decal it makes it look a little more realistic. Also, let me know if y'all have summer reading too. We have to read 4 books for summer this school year, which is kind of crazy to me. I like to read, and I usually try to get back into it during the summer when I have time, but I feel like whenever the school assigns a bunch of books that you're forced to read, and they're not even good books, they're like academic books, I just lose any motivation to start reading again, which is what I was trying to do whenever summer started. Our school usually requires us to read 2 books that they pick out, and then you can pick 2 different ones from a list that they make for us. The list is never even good to pick from either. Even the fiction section that they have, they usually try to combine some type of academic stuff into it. Plus, forcing everybody to read 4 books in one summer is kind of crazy to me, because we only have like 2 months of summer basically, so that'd be reading a book every 2 weeks, which for some people it takes a while to read, and it doesn't make it easy whenever we're being forced to read books that aren't interesting. It takes a lot more time. So I don't know, if any of you guys are also going through that struggle, then definitely let me know, because I haven't even started my summer reading yet, and we're already an entire month into summer, so I'm gonna have to read a book every single week. Usually what ends up happening is that I wait till the end of summer to start reading any of the books that I'm assigned, and I can never finish them, so then I have to resort to the good old Spark Notes to help me out, if you guys know what I mean. Also, be sure to let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing the interior for this build. At first, I wasn't really going to, but now that I think about it, it might be cool to see, since CANES usually has some pretty nice interiors. I know that the one that we have where we live, there's disco lights and fun wall decorations. I'm sure it depends like on the location, but if I were to do the interior, I definitely make sure to do one of the fun ones, so I think it would be interesting to see. I think I already started on this earlier, but I did some small custom overhang things to go over the windows, and they were super easy to build. I just took a square basic shape and resized it to be a rectangle. I think you can see me adding one around here, and then I took a metal structural, I swear I cannot pronounce that word right, and added those around the sides, but basically I just wrapped that around the sides of the overhang, and then I connected it to the walls with a smaller structural. And after that, the build was going by super quick, so I started on the gardening. I usually don't include it in the video since it's really boring to watch. I kind of repeat the same different plants, so I didn't include all of it in this video, but what you see doing here, I pretty much replicated throughout the entire build around the entire CANES. I seriously need to get my gardening level up, it's really bad. I mentioned this ages ago and I still haven't taken any time to get my level up for it. So pretty much I just had to work with what I had for the trees especially. You can see what I'm adding in the trees, pretty much all of my selection are locked. There's not like a single one available except for the basic ones. To wrap this video up, I added in the lights around the top exterior of the build, as I said a little earlier, and I went out of build mode for a sec to turn off the lights so the build wouldn't be too bright with the new lighting that the update added in, and I basically just took the decal and added it to a basic shape and transformed it to be underneath the light, so it looked like the Bloxburg light was casting an actual light piece underneath it, if that makes sense. That's pretty much it for the build, so let's just get right into the tour. So yeah, this is the final build. I think it turned out pretty nice, but be sure to let me know in the comments what y'all think too. I added in a lot of decals, especially around the front, so if you're wondering where you can find them, just check out my profile and they'll be linked in my inventory as well as the description of this video. I added in some fake food too, which I thought was pretty funny. This is actually a build where I finally made the back look pretty good as well, so I'm pretty happy about that. I did forget though to add the little ordering window whenever you're out in the back, so I'll definitely need to add that in if I do the interior as well. That's pretty much it for the video though, so if you guys have any questions about decals or anything about the build, be sure to let me know, and I hope you guys enjoyed.